What's up, Brutal Born Nation? Jason Fry coming at you. Hey, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button down below. Like our channel. We're doing a lot of cool things over here. The gym's coming along good. We're doing a lot of things on social media. We got a new line of clothing coming out, some new wrist straps, bunch of other cool stuff we got coming. So subscribe to our channel. We appreciate it. Like us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook, whatever else. If you want to contact me, you comment below. I can answer any questions that you have, and that would be awesome. But let's get into why I'm here today. And the topic is steroids. And let me just preface this with a little bit about this story today. And what we are doing is we're doing a series on steroids. The reason why we're doing that is because there is so much out there that we want to talk about. There's so much, things that we want to do and explain and get into, and we just can't do. I don't like YouTube videos that are too long. I'd rather have them short and sweet, and just go over a little bit of topics here and there and move on to another one. That's the way I like it. I don't like watching a YouTube video of people who aren't actors, trying to be actors, or whatever else, and putting on a show for 45 minutes. It's not my thing, but hey, it might be theirs. If you like it, that's cool. It's not what I do. So I'm kind of short and sweet, and that's where we're going with this. Is we're going to do a lot of videos about steroids. The pros, the cons, kids using them, celebrities using them, anything. The reason why I'm doing this is because I think I have a great knowledge in steroids, and I'm not going to say I have a great knowledge in it because I've been using them for so long. I'm not going to say I've ever used them, but I've been around them. I've competed in sports pretty much my whole life. When I turned 15 or 16 in high school is when I first had my first dose of reality with steroids, seeing some things here and there. And as my life went on, I just saw more and more and more. Obviously, the things I did where I was competing in the World's Strongest Man, when I was competing in bodybuilding, when I was, just going to different gyms and powerlifting with people and stuff like that. And, I've seen a lot of things, so I think I have a good knowledge on it. And let me just go out and say that right now. If you're here to see this video, to see if I'm going to say I've ever used steroids, maybe it'll happen someday. Maybe it'll happen today. I don't know. But if that's all you're here for, you're not here for the right reasons, because this is basically an educational tool to deal with people that know people that are on steroids, people that are thinking about taking steroids, people that have kids that play football or going to college or whatever else, and they don't have all the facts, and all they have is these misconceptions of steroids. You're getting thousands, millions of zits, and your balls shrinking, and huge roid rages, and everything else. And some of it's true, some of it's not, and that's why I wanted to make these videos, because I wanted to be honest with my fans, Brutal Born Nation. I want to be honest with you. I'm not here to bullshit you. That's not my job. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to be brutal with you. So I want to tell you straight up facts about steroids, plain and simple. And that's what these series of short videos are about. They're not about to say steroids are great. They're not about to say steroids are terrible. It's just facts. That's all it is. And whether you want to believe them or not, that's up to you. But people have this conception of how bad steroids are, and I can give examples of Lyle Alzado. Many of you know who he is, many of you don't. But I bet the majority of you who do know who he is thinks that he died of steroids. He didn't. He died of brain cancer. And there's not one doctor, one scientist, anything that says steroids had anything to do with his death. But until the day he died, he claimed that the reason why he was dying was because of steroids. And it's just not true. So that's where I want to be. I want to get the facts out there. I want to, tell you some things, show you some things. If you have questions, comment below, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. I just want to put these videos out because I've been around it for so long and I know so much about it. To the parents out there that have kids, like when I went to college and that's when I started really getting into weightlifting and bodybuilding, and it was a world full of steroids, and I didn't have any answers. All I had was questions. I didn't know anything about it, so it was like, hey, what's going on? What's that do? What's this do? What's that do? And just didn't know anything. So I want to get into that a little bit of, when your kids, do go off to college, maybe you don't just sit them down and tell them about alcohol and marijuana and cocaine. Hey, especially young boys that go off to college, that's one thing. I gravitated to that like crazy. The kids out there today, you go to a college, a major university, and you see these kids that are 18 years old, 19 years old that are just jacked. And, they get the girls sometimes because they're jacked, and that's what your son wants to be. So what's the easiest way to get there? That's true. Steroids is going to help them get there faster. So again, this is more of, a series of videos that I just want to talk about things with steroids, go over the facts with them, talk to you guys, again, answer any questions you have about it. If you want me to do a video on something that I didn't talk about, I'm willing to do that. I think my knowledge in this, and again, it's not my knowledge because I've been doing it. Like I said, it's my knowledge because I've been around it. I'm not going to say whether I have done it or haven't done it, but I've seen so much of it that I do know. And I've also researched it. I've been researching it for a very long time. It's when you're in this world and you see all these different things, that's the first thing you want, you should do is research something, especially if you're going to take something. You want to know what it's going to do to you. But I've also seen a lot of people that they don't know what's, they get it and they just take it, and all they can think about is they're going to look very muscular soon. So it's good to know the facts behind it, and again, that's what I'm here for. So today's first subject, and I kind of talked to you a little bit about it, is the main question: is steroids bad for you? And it's a tough question to answer just because steroids do have pros to them. A steroid, your testosterone, as you get older, your testosterone levels drop. So, doctors are now prescribing it. They've been prescribing it for many years now because man wasn't meant to live to 90, 100 years old. So when you get to a certain age, your testosterone starts dropping. Well, you need testosterone. A man needs testosterone. So if he has to get it from somewhere else, he's going to get it from somewhere else. Hopefully he gets it legally and he goes to a doctor and the doctor prescribes it and everything else. But, that's one of the pros of it. Another pro is if you use it correctly, if you use it, you know what you're doing, and you have somebody that can show you how to use it, and you don't take it to the extremes of other people that are major bodybuilders and major back in the 80s, like I said, Lyle Zato and these guys, the amounts they were taking is not good. It's not. And there are things like roid rage and a lot of other things come with that, and I think I'm going to talk about that one day too. Is when you do take steroids, obviously you're getting stronger. Well, like I tell a lot of, parents and children that I work with, I don't want kids working out at such a young age because they're not fully developed. Well, your body can only develop a certain amount. It's not meant to handle so much weight. And as you take steroids and get bigger and bigger, and you're lifting that much more weight, it's going to take a strain on your joints, on your muscles, your spine, everything. So, the more steroids you take, the more heavier lifting. It's, there's a lot of that's going on too that, people don't talk about. And they should straight up talk about it, because if you're going to take that, what are you taking it for? Are you taking it to bench 500 pounds? Well, again, I would love to bench 500 pounds. But I know if I do, I'm probably going to hurt something seriously until, I can get to a point where I'm benching 500 pounds consistently, that, my body's used to it. But I mean, there's guys that are lifting just way too much weight, and it does take its toll. It's taking its toll on me. I'm not as bad a shape that I could be. But it has taken its toll. And a lot of times when I do lift extremely heavy, yeah, I feel it. I do have wraps on my elbows, and I double wrap my elbows sometimes, or my wrists and everything else. So it takes its toll. But again, testosterone is something that, your body makes. Your body needs that. And, you can use it for the right reasons. You can use it, to get those testosterone levels back to where they were. You can use it for sports, for weightlifting. But first of all, it's illegal in most sports except, competitive bodybuilding and World Strongman. And secondly, maybe in WWE too. I've heard there's testing, but I really haven't seen anything. And, the other thing is, using it correctly is a major part of steroids. So, again, going back to the question, is steroids bad or good for you? And it's a really tough question, and it's a question that you should probably be discussing in like a PhD class. But, majority of my brutal fanatics aren't going to be taking a PhD class to learn about steroids. So they come here. I'm going to give it to you straight. That's as easy as I can say it. The question again is, are they bad? Well, is alcohol bad for you? Yes, it is. Is it terrible for you? Well, it depends how much you drink. If you drink a case of beer a night for 20 years, yeah, it's pretty bad for you. If you drink a glass of wine 3 nights a week for 20 years, no. So there's goods and bad, there's pros and cons. We'll get more into that. We're going to get into many more things. The biggest thing I just want to get out there is that I want to talk to you on the level about steroids. Get my feelings towards it. Again, I've been around it for, what is it now? 30 years probably? Yeah, over 30 years. And, I've seen a lot. So I want to get that out there. I do get a lot of questions about steroids all the time. It's hard just to answer somebody in 5 seconds or a minute or two, So I want to get this out there. I want to make a little series about it. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. It's going to be cool. Again, subscribe to my channel, comment. This is going to be a great series. I hope everybody that's, feeling like they should take it, or have kids that are, a little worried about it, or even if their kids have mentioned it to them or anything like that, please comment, talk to me, and I will always answer your questions and get back to you as soon as I can, because it's what I do. And come on, let's stay brutal.